Let me put you here, then you're right next to the
I just need to
camera.
figure out how I'm going to put the chat.
Okay. Where's my focus?
How's my chat?
Somewhere here. Okay. But we should be live, so that's a good thing. I can see myself here.
Yeah, we're online. We're live. I can see we're live. We're live. We're live.
Excellent. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. Today, as you can see, we have a guest for the first time. Hope you can hear me well. And it is Nathan from the channel Ninja Monkey. Nathan, do you want to say something?
Hey, hi everyone.
Do you want to say something about your channel?
Yeah, I'm Nathan. Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Nathan, and I am from the channel Ninja Monkey. And I am not. I don't live in Japan. First of all, a lot of my viewers think that I live in Japan, but I don't live in Japan. I live in Europe. I live in a tiny little place called Gibraltar. But when there's no COVID, when there's no Corona, I actually travel to Japan 2 or 3 times a year. So I know Japan very well as a tourist. My content is really currently about when Japan is going to reopen its borders. I look at the news, I get all the main stories, put them together into one place to make it easy for my viewers to have a good idea of what's going on. So if you are interested in traveling to Japan, and you're waiting for the borders to reopen, then my channel is definitely the place to visit. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to get back to Japan and continue making my travel vlogs. So yeah, thanks for having me on your channel. I'm really looking forward to talking about my experiences and your experiences, obviously living there.
Welcome. So I have to ask you now, how many times have you been to Japan so far?
Well, I was looking through my passport actually, and I was counting my stamps. Like I was trying to figure out how many times I had been to Japan, and I counted 14 or 15 stamps, Japan immigration stamps. So,
Nice. And not like
and each
just
time I
short,
go to
right?
Japan,
It's not like 1 week or something.
no, like, yeah, no, like some of them are like a week or 10 days, but the majority of them are usually like a month and a half, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
so yeah,
you have a good job. Okay, I see. And this
yeah,
brings
I
us
guess so.
to today's topic. So we want to share our top 10 places to visit in Japan. So Nathan will share five, I will share five. And actually, I must confess, Nathan has traveled Japan way more than I have. Maybe you know from your hometown or from your home country, probably if you live somewhere, you don't travel, right? But I mean, maybe for Gibraltar it's a little easier because it's rather small. But for Germany, for example, I've been, like, of course, to a couple of cities, but I've never done sightseeing or anything like that. And I guess once you then live in Japan, it's kind of the same. Of course, it's foreign still, but it's like you work, you don't have explicit time as in when you are taking a holiday. And oh, Nathan is frozen for me. Okay, you're moving again. Excellent. Yeah,
For a minute, it was sort of going crazy. It's been working fine all the time until right now, huh?
yes, yes. I mean, now it's fine again. And funny is
Okay.
when the connection is bad, it's like resizing, getting small, big, and so on. It's very, very. Why is it doing that?
I have no idea.
Because in the streaming software it looks fine, but then on YouTube actually it doesn't. Anyway, let's maybe get into the
Bear with
topic.
us, everyone.
Yes, yes. Let's maybe get into the topic. First one. I start because I want you to have the very last one. So I think this isn't
Okay.
a particular
Yeah.
order except for the last one, which is our biggest recommendation. So my first one is a big city. So my recommendation is you go to Tokyo or Osaka at least for 1 or 2 days, because one, if you like city, it's perfect. Then you can get everything you want if you want like otaku stuff and so on, weeb stuff. Then you can get that, especially in Tokyo. And Yeah, and then also because this prepares you to enjoy what's after that more. So you will have a bigger contrast from the big city, dense, lots of people, skyscrapers, concrete jungle, to countryside, onsen like hot spring, ryokan, traditional hotels, and so on. That's why this is my first recommendation. How about you? Oh, they're super small. Why are you so small?
Okay,
Wait a second. What
I would
happened here?
agree with you. I always tell my viewers, and I always tell my. Can, are you okay?
I'm okay, but you are like on the screen. You became I mean, why is it like that? Don't do that. Ninja monkey shrunk. Yeah, exactly.
I've shrunk.
And I don't know why. Wait, I made you bigger now, but it should. Did I just press something accidentally? No, that's wrong. Okay, so you're big again now. Wait, I need to edit this on. I think I just shouldn't. I didn't touch anything.
Maybe the viewers can tell us, because for you it keeps on. Is really a ninja. For you, moments like the stream seems to be stuck.
Okay.
It's like coming in and out.
Yes, yes.
I don't know.
And it's resizing itself. And I don't know why. Like if the connection gets better, then it fills the screen again. And if it's worse, then it's like doing what it's doing now. And now you're super big.
Oh,
It's like the position, like the size is changing, but I don't know why it doesn't freeze that.
this is all.
Let's do it then. We don't want that. Yeah, this is live, ladies and gentlemen. You know, accidents can happen.
It happened. It happened.
Okay, maybe that's
It's okay. I mean,
yeah.
at the end of the day, nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
Okay, so maybe now, maybe.
Not.
What was that?
I said not sponsored by Coca-Cola, by the way.
Too bad. Okay, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Yeah, what I was gonna say before was that that definitely I agree with you. I think I always tell people to, when they travel to Japan, to do like a Japan sandwich where they start in a city and they end in a city, because that way you get the contrast between the city and anywhere else, and then when you go back you get the contrast again. No, so I would go into a city. Sorry.
That's live. That's live.
But this never happened before. We've been practicing for the past 40 hours or something.
Yeah, and we had like maybe we should just. I should stop live streaming us. But still, it's like.
I mean, my connection is a good connection, so.
Okay. Yeah, same here. Japan always good connection. But okay, let me also close this one here. So now it's like. Now I can't see us anymore, except for in the streaming software. So I don't know if it's actually getting slower for the viewers, but that's all I can do.
Okay. Shall I go on to my...
What? I didn't hear you.
I was going to say, shall I go on to then, like in terms of in terms of what
Yes,
I
that would be
think
perfect.
a place. The thing is, it's I find it very difficult to choose. I have to say, I've been to so many places, so I want to, tell your viewers or the viewers that are on the live stream now that I have places that maybe you haven't or thought about visiting, or some places that I think are worth visiting. that are not like your typical Tokyo, Kyoto sort of places. So I would say a little bit off the beaten path, a little bit difficult to get to in a way, is Nagasaki as a city,
Hmm.
because it isn't a major, it's not like a huge city like Tokyo or Hiroshima. It's still quite big, but it's also very, very unique. A really railway tram that goes through the city. It's got really quite good public transport for the tram, and it's also very strangely rather European. Um,
Okay.
there's some British Victorian garden visit. There's some cathedrals, like Roman Catholic cathedrals and churches, and it's just a really strange, vibrant, but at the same time very Japanese city. And it's very different to many of the other Japanese cities that I visited. So it's definitely unique in that respect. I find that sometimes when you go to Japanese cities, they tend to be similar or quite similar. They all have a very similar train station, you know, thing. But Nagasaki is definitely very different. It's very hilly. It's quite a hilly city. And I also have written down here that apart from Nagasaki, I also have going to some hot springs that are very near. It's part of Nagasaki Prefecture called Onsen. Um, they are like the proper hells, you know, where you have the steam
Yeah.
coming out from the like proper crazy, ridiculous amount of steam coming, or you're walking through basically through a sauna. And it stinks, you know.
Yeah.
That area is so thick, you know, it's so hot because you know it's and I just from Nagasaki recommend as you know, if you're thinking of somewhere to go, somewhere different. Have you ever been to Nagasaki?
I haven't. The software shrunk you again. It's terrible. Why is it doing that? But I don't know.
I'm trying not to look. I'm trying not to look.
Yeah, it's like you're sitting on my shelf almost. Oh, now it made you bigger again. What's going on? Why is it doing that? Terrible.
No
Okay,
way.
but to answer, I mean, the most important is, of course, the audio. Maybe some people are doing the dishes or cleaning, or hopefully don't watch.
You
um,
know, this might be the funniest live stream ever. You know, for your viewers.
I don't know if they can bear it. What I wanted to say is, I have never been to Nagasaki before. In fact, I've never been to Kyushu at all.
Ah, I see.
So yeah, but my wife actually, a
Yeah.
senpai of my wife lives in Nagasaki, and she would like to visit her at some point. But it's like
Yeah, you
there's a
should definitely do it. It is
lot of stuff on our list, like go to, of course, Nagasaki and
actually the Shinkansen is being extended to
yes,
Nagasaki.
good
I
point.
think starting February next year.
Yeah,
So that's another really good point for anybody who
yeah,
Nagasaki. It literally takes off like an hour and a half or an hour train journey, and so definitely it's like one of your viewers said that sounds interesting. It definitely.
yes. And you are not just shrunk, but also frozen
You've got that.
in an impeccable pose. Maybe you can make this. We should. Okay, here's something for all the viewers of you. Every time Nathan shrinks, one shot. Every time the screen freezes, two. And let me see how many minutes you last. Let me know. Okay.
I've got a feeling
Exactly.
that works properly.
Yes. I mean, okay. Yeah, John also says what's special about Nagasaki is Gunkanjima. Battleship Island inspired a scene in a James Bond movie. Yes.
That is true, and I never went. And the reasons why I never went. First of all, because I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to those things, and I had heard that it was like an unstable island. But now I think I would go now. You know, thinking about it, I don't know. I need to when you're there, you are with a guide all the time, and it's timed. You can't be on the island for longer than a certain amount of time, apparently.
Yeah.
So
I see. The stream quality. Okay. So
it
just
is
not look at
stressing
it.
you
Just,
out.
it is, yeah, totally. Let's
Do you want, I could try calling you back. Right.
put the
If
change
your
anything.
viewers
Does it
want
usually
to, or
change
do you want
anything?
to just carry on?
Yeah, we'll just carry on.
No,
Because I mean, it has been ongoing. We have been Skyping before that, and
it's just really, really strange.
I mean, we can try.
But yeah, we could just carry on.
Okay. Well then.
I mean, I don't have any other.
Okay. Should we do a quick
We're carrying on, or am I calling you?
I hang up now. And I hope the reconnection works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, see you in a second.
Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna hang
All
up.
right.
I'm gonna hang up.
And now it's just you and me again. How sad. How sad. And also how he froze there, like a happy man. Maybe an audio-only connection would be more reliable. I think so. Let me call him again. All right. So, dun, 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 there you are. And so far, not bad at all. Just like the
Let's see.
resizing. Now you have way too big. It's like it's getting. I know what it's doing probably.
You're gonna have to rename. You're gonna have to rename the stream to like
Yeah,
giant, tiny dude.
yeah. Then
Or
he commented.
when live streams go wrong.
Then they commented he's really a ninja. But I know what it's probably doing. It gets like the pixels, right? And when the connection is bad, it's not a lot, so it makes it small. Then when it gets a lot, like now, it's like boom. Excellent. That's how I want software to not work. It's like now I see like the top of the plant behind you.
I'm trying. Oh yeah, I could just see the plant now.
It's like, I mean, okay, so let me quickly reset the transform. Then now you will for a second not see me. Okay, now let me put you here. That's better. They make you bigger. All right, so we're getting there. Like this, okay. And now let's crop a little bit from the left. I know this tonight's live stream, I would have never imagined it would be that exciting. Okay, let's maybe cut like 110 here. Oops, okay, move to left. That's not what I wanted. Let's do like this again. Wait a second.
Oh look! It says here. I've just searched. Sorry, everybody. This is a techie talk now. You very exciting for the viewers to see what happens behind the scenes.
Yes, who
You
doesn't
know,
want to know?
I've just searched on Google, and it says right click on the NDI source and select transform,
Yes.
and then edit transform and make sure that the transform stays. So that way it won't change the size.
Daniel, good man. Audio is more important than video. There we go. So problem solved. As long as we hear you.
Did
Yes.
it fix?
Yes, I did add the transform before also. and then I press done, so it should be
Okay.
done. However, I just keep it here now. Position is 0, 0. I just keep it on screen and open. Just hope it stays like
Audio
that.
is more important than video. That is true.
Yes. Where's the banana?
Where's the banana? I don't know,
This is
because
a
I'm the
running gag.
monkey, no?
No. This is a running gag. So previously, I could never. I was not able to, for the life of myself, I couldn't figure out how to get this animation that you just saw working properly. Oh, it resizes you again. My God.
Really?
Yes. But here, in this one, in this transform thing, it doesn't show that you resized. Software. All right, so. But I mean, still, the connection is way better than before. Okay, let's continue. It's working, don't touch it. Exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then it touched itself.
In the meantime, I'm also trying to read some techie things to see if there's Anyway, shall we just carry on?
I think so. I'm wondering if this.
So yeah, so that was Nagasaki, by the way.
Oh no, it made you big again.
What are you?
Okay, you're frozen again. That's a terrific thing. So, I mean, at least we are having a good time. Let me see.
Don't touch it. Apparently, don't touch it. Some people saying.
Yes, I don't.
Okay, it says here. I'm going to read. This is me googling, by the way. Very exciting. I'm very sorry for the viewers. You know, like we are talking techie stuff now, but hopefully it will fix it. It says
they're used to this on
some
this
other
channel.
people in stream. If you add a filter, and if you add a scale filter,
Okay.
does that make any sense?
Yes.
And you add a Lanczos scale and that should stop it from resizing.
Okay, wait.
Lanczos
How do you do it?
scale.
Filters. No.
I'm just gonna paste what I read. So add a filter scale and choose Lanczos scale.
In the filter scale, that's probably scaling apps. And then I can't choose anything. Scaling. Okay, let's just try. Okay, this filter is there. And then Lanczos. Resolution, none. Base resolution. Okay. All right. So pretty big again. Then let me quickly scale you down a little bit here. Or maybe I can't. I can. All right. Put it here. And here. Anybody drunk already? Okay.
Haven't changed sizes so far. I can move myself, by the way. You know, like that's another option. Like I can move to the side.
Yeah,
if that
if you
helps.
can move to the side like that. All right. I mean, I don't touch it. If it scales, it does it itself. All right, let's see. There we are.
Fingers crossed.
Ah.
Hopefully that will work. Everybody, thank you very much for waiting.
Yeah. Okay, that brings us back to Nagasaki. I didn't know about the Western look and so on, and I was when he first said it, I said, okay, it was like a harbor city, right? Maybe there was some contact and they imported that and so on, but obviously that was all destroyed with the atomic bombing. So I don't know why it could be, but I'm sure there's a very good reason.
Well, there's a film. There's a very actually, there's a very famous film. Who was in the film? It won Oscars. It's
Huh.
called. It's about the missionaries from the Roman Catholic Church that are
Mhm.
sent to Japan to try to convert the Japanese into Christians,
Okay,
and they go to Nagasaki.
there we have it.
The whole film is based in Nagasaki,
Mhm.
and they actually go to onsen, which is the onsen that I mentioned before. And the Japanese would actually kill the Christians by basically throwing them in the onsen and boiling them. And they used to,
Oh,
yeah,
how
it's
convenient.
a very, yeah, it's actually in that onsen. I didn't realize, but there's a big cross, like a
Ah,
cross on in the onsen, and I then watched the film like a little bit later, like a year or two later, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, I've been there. Now I understand why there was a cross there. Like
ah.
so Nagasaki, I think, was a prime place for the Christian church that went underground, and so it's definitely that's why I mentioned Nagasaki because it's got such a different history
Mhm.
to so many other cities in Japan. And by the way, I seem to be the same size.
Yeah, I'm totally amazed of of your technical skills, of your Googling skills.
I am a teacher. Google is my best friend.
I'm in IT, it's the same.
So yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, that's it. The movie that Daniel Panic says the movie is Silence. That's right. The movie is called Silence.
Okay.
And and I can't remember who was in the movie. For some reason I've got Mel Gibson, but I don't think it's Mel Gibson. Uh, Mel
Please.
Gibson.
Daniel
Yeah,
also
it's a really
Googled.
difficult to watch, by the way. Oh yeah, it's also a difficult movie to watch,
Okay.
but it sort of explains why Nagasaki is the way it is. It's quite different, no? Um, yeah, you don't expect to see a beautiful cathedral, Roman Catholic cathedral, next to a shrine, basically.
I mean, we have something like that here in Nagano, but
All right.
it's like one of those companies that where people can get married, and it's not actually a Catholic church or anything or Christian church at all. It just looks like that to like, people have the
Yeah,
stereotypes.
yeah, yeah,
They want
yeah,
to have a Christian
yeah,
wedding. And every now
yeah.
and then
But
there,
that's quite common in Japan,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and every now and then there are job descriptions when they look for a white male guy with a permanent visa or something to be a wedding minister. Act as a wedding minister. So you
Yeah,
come there, you need like
yeah, yeah.
casual Japanese, and then you can do, you're married.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
can,
on an interesting side thing is that I went to Osaka once and I stayed in this quite a big hotel, like it was like 40 floors or whatever. You know
mhm,
these hotels where the lobby starts on the 30th floor. Have you ever been to a hotel like that in Japan?
maybe.
Like reception is at 30th floor, and then the next 20 floors are the hotel.
Okay.
So there was in the lobby, there was actually a like a Scottish style chapel, like basically brick.
Uh-huh.
They had brought it to Scotland brick by brick, and they had rebuilt it on the 30th floor of this building in Japan, in Tokyo. And
Unbelievable.
the whole reason was the same, like just to do fake weddings.
Yeah, unbelievable. Oh, a nice chapel. Where was it? Oh, on the 30th floor of the Hilton.
Yeah, 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 exactly, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Maybe only in Japan. That would be a good video, maybe. You should do that.
Or you could do it because you're there and I can't get there now.
That's true. I actually also, at one point, I saw one of those job descriptions and I thought, okay, it's only on the weekend. Maybe I should do that. Because, I mean, payment, I don't know, I forgot. But it certainly makes for good stories, I'm very sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's your job? What do you do? What do you do in Japan?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm a fake minister. I marry people, you know, like so.
Oh, you're Christian? Not at all. Okay. Now, what's your number? Yeah, maybe I should go first again. Then we keep the order like that. The next one. So you have been in the city now. You have been to Osaka or Tokyo. You have taken in the city life, the bustling streets. You've seen, maybe you went on like a platform or something and you've seen how absurdly big the city is. And now you should go where everybody goes, to Kyoto. No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's of course perfect because there are no tourists. Perfect for the visitor, that is, not for the people living there. But Kyoto, well, yeah, a little bit touristy maybe, so focused on tourists, and especially in summer, unbearable, I think. So first time I've been there was in summer. It was not really fun. Nathan's frozen again, but still, we continue. It was not really fun.
I'm okay. Okay.
Okay. But we went there and then directly went to the north of Kyoto, probably north, kind of north, to a town called Ohara no Sato. So that's Kyoto Prefecture, not Kyoto the city. And that would be my second recommendation. Especially,
Why would it be your recommendation?
so for example, if you're there like we went in summer, and you are so Kyoto is like in a valley and it gets super hot. And then you go into the mountains and all of a sudden you have this, like, mountain is higher, right? It's higher elevation. And that means it's cooler. Then you have like, I don't know, fog maybe in the morning and so on. And it was just perfect. And we booked only one night, but
Oh,
we
wow.
thought in hindsight should have been two at least. So that was very nice. There's not a lot to do there. Like they have a nice temple and so on, and with a garden, and you can walk around in the woods. They have bears, so maybe don't walk too much. But the place we stayed at also had like free bikes to try, and then you could bike around and so on. And, I mean, you probably have been to a lot of ryokans, right? And
Yeah.
usually what you do there is nothing. I mean, of
Yeah.
course you do something. You
Yeah.
eat and then you bathe and then you sleep and then you repeat that. But I think especially if you're jet lagged or something or exhausted otherwise, maybe you had a long trip, you have been to Tokyo, for example, then this is perfect.
Yeah. I think what you said before is actually a perfect example of the reason why I've picked some of these locations, and the reason being places that I've been to that I've stayed like one night
Yeah,
or 2 nights, and I thought to myself I should have stayed longer, or
yeah,
places that I've been to and I think to myself, oh, I want to return to those places. So that, you know, but I do love those sort of quieter areas with ryokans where basically there's nothing much to do other than just relax, chill, and enjoy the atmosphere.
yeah.
How easy is it to get to from let's say Kyoto?
And there's actually a bus going there. It's like the final destination. How long did it take? Maybe 1.5 hours. And then the place we stayed in, I just called them and said, we are at the bus stop, get us. Then somebody came. Probably could have walked,
And you
but it
said it was the
was
last stop.
last stop, yeah.
You said it was the last stop.
Yeah,
So that is a perfect for tourists
exactly.
because
Right, right.
seriously, like whenever I'm traveling around and I realize that the place that I'm going to is the last stop, I am so happy because it means that I don't have to keep on looking at Google Maps to freak out if I miss the stop, or you know, you
Yeah,
just can relax, and when you arrive, you arrive.
yeah. I'm not sure if we actually knew it was the last stop. Probably. I mean, we took care of like keeping an eye. We kept an eye on the sign and so on. Yeah. Yeah, but this was my second recommendation.
Which actually my second recommendation is sort of going in a similar like mind frame to you, like kind
Okay.
of similar. There's a little place called Tsuwano.
Hmm.
It's literally in the middle of nowhere. Like I think I got there from Hagi.
All right.
You need to get I think I got the train, very windy train up into the mountains, and it's this little town. There's a beautiful shrine with like a Torii gate sort of path, like Fushimi Inari style,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that leads all the way up to the top of this really beautiful shrine. And it's just your typical quiet, like anime town with maybe, I don't know, I want to say like 500, I don't know, very, very few people living there. And the streets are lined by little streams of koi fish,
Hmm.
and it's just really is a beautiful place. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Suano, with a T, by the way, TSU, Suano, or if anybody's been to Suano, but it is definitely. I stayed there the night,
Hmm.
and I understand that a lot of people go there for as a day trip, and you can do it as a day trip very easily. However, spending the night there was really worth it, because when there's tourists, they sort of fill up a place in the afternoon, but then you realize that after maybe 4 p.m., 5 p.m., the tourists start leaving and going back to their hotels, especially if it's a day trip. They go off on the bus or the train, and you're left with pretty much the locals there. So there's a very different feel to a place between the daytime and the evening, the nighttime.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's
I
I
just,
also love like drinking with the locals, just like
like, just like me. I just opened it on Google. Yeah, it looks nice. It's like
so
a couple of hundred, maybe 100 houses or so, more, couple more,
yeah, yeah, it's not big, is it?
not at all.
And like I said, it has the temple. If you search for the
Yeah,
shrine.
it shows
Um,
almost only pictures of of the shrine.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
The shrine is like on
Or
a
if you
mountain,
search for
so
koi fish,
oh, nice.
search.
Also, it looks nice in
Yeah,
winter as
yeah.
well.
It's so beautiful. It is literally one of the nicest shrines I've been to in Japan.
Nice.
Um, and also, interestingly, I don't know how you feel about this, but because I travel usually at the beginning of July,
Hmm.
I usually arrive there, and it's still sort of the end of a rainy season.
Hmm.
So I usually get like a week or two of on and off rain, which I actually enjoy the rain. I really like going to these temples and these shrines when it's raining. It's something kind of mystical and special about being in a shrine with the rain. Sitting down and just listening to the rain. And also, people tend to stay away, and you usually have these places more to yourself. I have no problems getting wet. Plus, I'm usually quite well prepared. So,
Excellent.
so
Yeah, sounds.
Suwano,
How can you go to Tsuwano? How can you get
like I
there?
said, I got there
Train.
from, I think I got there by train.
Okay.
I got there by train, and I think you can probably get there probably from Hiroshima up. Oh, I'm sure there's a bus you could probably get to, like from where you are. I have no idea.
I could try. Maybe I should just search navigation.
I think you should go. I think you should go. It's quite an interesting. It's definitely a very, very interesting place that people. I actually made a vlog about it, so you could always check out the vlog
Okay.
that I made. Um, pre Sony camera.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can go there, and it takes 15 hours and 50 minutes.
What?
That's like it's faster to go to Germany.
Wow. What's that? By train?
Yes. So What's the recommendation here? So it says I should go by bus to Kyoto, and then I change to Shinkansen to Hiroshima? Oh, that's a different one. No, yeah, Shinkansen to Hiroshima. And then one more. The last train is 4 hours, 10 minutes. And it's like a local train apparently. It took some time, takes some time. So
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
where it would be like more if I'm in the area anyway.
yeah. Like I said, it's very off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Very off the beaten path. But sometimes to be rewarded, you need to go off the beaten path. And I think that you're a big believer in that from watching your videos.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I always feel not so comfortable actually when I'm in touristy areas, I must say. Because I feel like I'm part of business then. More than, I mean, it may not be true, but this kind of feeling gets to me a little bit. Okay, now we have a very
People don't treat you the same.
Yeah, we have a very, very important question here. Are you fluent in Japanese?
Okay. Who, me or you?
You, Nathan, are you fluent in Japanese? That's what John wants to know.
I am 日本語とても難しいです。No, I am not fluent in Japanese. I struggle. I try.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I try to learn Japanese, but I have a very, very busy. You know what it's like. You're busy when you become an adult. You don't have the time
Mm,
to study the same as when you're like younger and a student.
yeah.
And therefore, I only put realistically like 1.5 hours, 2 hours a week into Japanese. I understand with the little that I know and a lot of hand gestures, I can communicate. But I guess the thing is, this is one of the reasons why I like traveling to the Inaka. I like traveling into off the beaten path. Is that you're forced to use your Japanese a little bit more. And when you're forced to use your Japanese, you start realizing that you know more than what you think you know.
Yeah.
When you put on the spot. But I am definitely not fluent in Japanese. I would say I am beginner going on to intermediate. I would say that's sort of my level at the moment. Beginner going to intermediate. I can read hiragana and I can read maybe something like 200 kanji or something, 150, 200 kanji in total. So that's where I'm at.
Well, that's good. It's probably more than most people that come to. When I came to Japan first, I knew nothing. And on the train, somebody gave me a list with maybe 10 sentences, like, where's the toilet? I'm Johannes. That's all I remember. And out of these sentences, that's also exactly the two I remembered. 私は Johannes です。トイレはどこですか? That's all.
トイレはどこですか? The most important thing you need to know when you go to Japan.
Then they reply and you don't understand. And then again, there.
And another one that's really important is これは何ですか?
But then again, I mean, right? If it's
yeah, but then they reply, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
saying. So
okay, it's not a pen. Okay. Yeah, excellent recommendation. By the way, speaking of that, about the countryside and city, Nathan and I have a video coming up on his channel where we talk exactly about that. So right after this live stream, I think, right after we finish,
yeah,
Nathan will put it live. So
yeah,
guys, check it out if you're interested.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think we did a really good job. It took a while to finally publish it. Between one thing and another, we recorded this back like I think in the beginning of July. I think it was
July. Yeah, sometime July. But busy times. Things happen.
There was 2 hours of footage or more. Yeah. I can't remember. It was a lot of footage, and I managed 17 or 18 minutes, which is still quite long. but I think it's worth watching all the way through because Johannes has some really good insights living there and having lived in both the city and the countryside. So definitely worth listening to what he has to say.
And Nathan too. Bringing the
Yeah,
different perspective of somebody not living here but coming here as a
yeah,
tourist, which is probably
of course.
more applicable for most people. I don't know how many people want to live here or will live here actually. Okay, so let me quickly check the comments. Daniel said they do Christian weddings in Nagasaki, not in Nagasaki, anywhere, because they are trendy. Yeah, right. And they're a business, essentially. People want to do it, so.
Actually,
Sure.
when a friend of mine who's Japanese said to me that in Japan, you are born, if I remember right, it was something like this: you're born Shinto, you're married Christian, and you die Buddhist.
Yes, that's correct. Absolutely correct.
That's what I heard.
Yes, that's right. I mean, you can also do a Shinto wedding. I would have liked to do that. So I didn't. I did the Christian. I would have liked to do Shinto, but my wife was pregnant, so like a kimono and then the obi on top of the belly is not. It's not possible. So
Yeah.
then we did Christian. Too bad. Too bad. Okay. It's not a lot of comments today compared to usually. I guess also because we talk. And all right. And since that's the case, shall we go on to the next one? Number 3. I already know.
I gave my last one, so your turn.
Yes.
Number 3 for you.
Number 3, and I already know we may have some discussion on that. Kanazawa.
Okay. Kanazawa. Okay,
So
go ahead.
Kanazawa is like, some call it Little Kyoto, I guess. I don't know. I heard it somewhere. So Kanazawa has a couple of niceties. One is it's not on the Pacific Ocean side, but it's on the Sea of Japan side. So other side of Japan, that means other fish. So you can get seafood. There's also a small fish market, which you can walk through, and everybody's super nice. And yeah, that's the one thing. So if you like that, if you're culinary interested and you want to see other things, then go there. Also, of course, it's by far not. It's not off the beaten path, but it's not very popular. It's not like Kyoto or Hiroshima or of course Tokyo and so on. So that's another thing. But you still get that. It also has a samurai district, Higashichaya, where it has old houses and so on, and I don't know, you can get ice cream or whatever. And an interesting thing is Kanazawa. So the kanji is for gold. You know that maybe? Since you know 200 already, I pin you. So this is the kanji for gold. So the color of the city is gold, and that means a lot of stuff that you eat is actually covered in gold or something. So in that Higashichaya district, the samurai district, you can get soft cream, ice cream with gold plated. And I had that tastes like ice cream with a little bit of iron. And then there is Kanazawa Castle, which is, there's not so much left. The keep is gone, but there are a couple of warehouses they reconstructed and so on. So it's not bad. It's interesting to look at. But the good thing is you can get like a set ticket of the castle and Ken-Rokuen, which is one of Japan's 3 most beautiful gardens, which is next to that. And I just admire it because it's pretty big and any part of it is really well kept and thought through and so on. So that's pretty amazing, I feel. I would never be able to do that. And the last one, right next to this, so this is like on a hill, castle and garden. And then down the hill is the 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art, which is interesting, even if you don't like art, because there's a walk-in pool. So from the top you see a pool, and you look down and there are people walking inside. And I like that. And for me personally, when I first came here to visit my now wife, we went there. We also went to a very nice, I think it was the best hotel ever and certainly the best ryokan ever. For me, I've been to. It was amazing. So big, and that like you have your private bathtub outside, and then there's a waterfall and so on. And of course, you have the ryokan, because the ryokan you also have a onsen separately, like the public quote unquote onsen. And then you go to your separate room, you're alone, and you have this meal, and it's like you open the menu and it's like
No.
15 courses or something. And that was amazing. So that's my story, and that's why I like it. Now, Nathan, why don't you like it?
Well, maybe you've convinced me to give it a second shot. That was a pretty good description. I wouldn't say that I like it. I dislike it. I just felt, actually, when I went to Kanazawa, it was the one and the only tour that I ever did in Japan.
Okay.
So that might have a big reason. For those of you who don't know me, I do a lot of solo travel. So I travel around Japan on my own, and I really like traveling around on my own. But I wasn't on my own, and perhaps that gave me a little bit of a negative. Was follow the tour guide and do this now and that sort of thing. And I came back feeling a little bit like that it wasn't as such a big deal as what the tour guide was trying to make it out to be.
I see.
And I think that I literally had just come from Kyoto also. It was literally came from Kyoto, and it was in 2013 or 2014 when back then, when Kyoto wasn't as crazy touristy as it is, in non-pandemic times. When you could go to Fushimi Inari and Kiyomizu Dera and everything, and it would be tourists, but not too many tourists.
Yeah.
So it was the good times of Kyoto. So going to Kanazawa from Kyoto, I felt it was underwhelming. Saying that, however, the garden is probably one of the most beautiful garden I've seen in Japan. Certainly very impressive, very beautiful. And the contemporary art museum that you talk about that I went to also was also worth the visit. So I'll have to go back, I guess.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I haven't been already. It's been 2 years or so. I mean, I've been 3 times right now. It's not like...
Okay, I've only been once. It was 2014, I think. So maybe it's about time that I give it another go.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you will be able to come here soon.
Well, that's for another video.
Okay, yeah, that's for your video. All right, then let me quickly check comments. So Vibor, Kale is here. We are doing excellent because the connection is stable, and not only that, also Nathan's size does not change.
But it's also kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
no more
it doesn't
shots.
freeze its own. Yeah, everybody's like almost there. And what now? Have you ever met in person or only on YouTube? We have never met in person, at least not consciously. Like we weren't aware if we did. Yeah.
Oh, hopefully
but I mean,
next year. Let's see.
Yeah.
We'll I mean, I'll say it here before I say it on my channel, but I have actually booked some flights for summer, and I am very, very hopeful that it will mean that by summer I'll be able to enter Japan. But you just really never know. I've taken the risk. It was a good price, and I've taken the risk.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Will you be able to give it back?
Hopefully
the
we
tickets?
can meet.
You don't not know?
There will be a change fee, so I can change the dates, but I'd have to pay a fee for changing the dates. So I don't lose it completely, but they were very cheap, the flights. So
okay, next question from Ario Gono. If you have mentioned it, sorry if you have mentioned it before. Which prefecture do you think is less or maybe least visited by gaijins? Tokyo. Okay, seriously.
What?
Seriously? But maybe, I don't know. I can imagine, I think Aomori is very, because it's north and nobody knows what's there. Even I don't know, apples, but other than that. And then maybe Tochigi is not.
There's quite a few prefectures, I think, that would fall under that category.
Maybe on Shikoku also not so many.
Yeah.
Ehime or something. Yeah. I think maybe you should answer the other way around. Where are all the tourists going? And that's like Pacific Ocean mostly, right? So Tokyo and then Kyoto, Hiroshima.
I mean, to be honest, I went to Totori
Mm.
and that coast down
Yeah.
there, I did not encounter a tourist, not even once. And I was literally down that coast for nearly 2 weeks. Actually, I lie. There was an Australian couple that I bumped into that were doing a pottery course in Hagi, which is famous for
Nice.
pottery. But they were there specifically for pottery, you know.
Yeah.
I guess I would say look at where the airports are, look at where the links to cities are, and
Yeah.
where there are no airports and there are no links, that's
Yeah,
where there's no tourists.
No Shinkansen, no tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but certainly Tokyo, absolutely no. I mean, you can also see it from how the people react to you. Here in Nagano, especially when I first moved here, every now and then, like children would look at me and like. Now, of course, you wear masks, so they're not sure necessarily. But in Tokyo, there are a lot of foreigners living there, and yeah. Like, for example, even in my son's kindergarten, even we didn't live in Tokyo directly, but Yokohama, there were like one or two other children with one foreign parent. And then I guess Kyoto is similar. Maybe not so many residents, but everybody's going there. And then Osaka also, I guess, it's close by. And Hiroshima. Usually that's also the three cities where everybody goes to, I feel, when they come to Japan for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, yeah.
I've never been to Hiroshima.
No, Hiroshima is a great city. It is underrated, I think, as a city. It is a great city. I think I would go as far as saying that I prefer Hiroshima to Osaka.
Okay. Yeah, also Osaka. Osaka. I think I've really only been once, and that was just after moving here. I like the evenings, especially like sitting by the canal, right? And drinking something when it gets a little cool at least because it was summer. And then another time, that was the last time I think I went to Germany. Maybe. I had a direct flight from Munich to Osaka. And when I was booking, I had the option to change either in Vienna, I think, or Osaka. So it would be Vienna, Tokyo, Munich, Vienna, Tokyo, or Munich, Osaka, Tokyo. And I chose Osaka because if there was an issue with the connecting flight, then at least I would be in Japan. And there was an issue.
Yeah.
And there was an issue.
Really?
We started too late, and I arrived in Osaka, the flight was gone. And the next flight I arrived in the morning, next flight was in the evening. So then I went outside and checked how long does it take. Okay, I can't make it to like the city center, Osaka Castle and so on, but it's close by some castle. Just went there, super jet lagged. At least I'm back in Japan. And that was like kind of Osaka maybe, but doesn't really count.
All right.
Yeah. One thing I did fly to Osaka airport when I visited Kobe in 2017. So picked up a friend in Tokyo then took the plane from Tokyo to Osaka. It's just like, I don't know, 30 minutes flight because it was cheaper. And then you can take the ferry from the airport to Kobe, which is 30 minutes or so. Pretty nice. But not nice for the environment. Keep that in mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, very long answer for one question. Is there anything particular that the Sea of Japan site has more available? And then Chimichanga answered, Sea of Japan is very nice. We were there a couple of days ago. Tiny airport with planes taking off over the beach and a ferry to Sado Island. Clean beaches, good fishing, and clean waters. Yeah, one more thing. When we went to Kanazawa for the first time, we went by car. So back then there was no Shinkansen connection. And it's not in Kanazawa, not in Ishikawa Prefecture, where Kanazawa is, but the neighboring prefecture. There is, I think, the only beach in Japan where you can drive a car. So like a beach road or so.
Oh,
That's what we did.
cool.
I mean, in the end, it's just a beach. It's like the Shibuya crossing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you cross the road and no, but maybe take a picture. But yeah, so Sea of Japan. I don't know, so special. I think you have to find that, and it's for me. It feels like Sea of Japan is just where less people are, and that's why it's a little slower pace, enjoyable to be, especially if it's your
Yeah.
vacation.
There's less transport links also, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Sea of Japan. There isn't. I don't think the Shinkansen
Yeah, not
really
running that side. I
I-
mean, there's like
not running
like the
local trains. Yeah.
the Hokuriku Shinkansen goes to up to Kanazawa, and then there's one to Niigata and so on. That exists, but that
mean-
like it's over there. It doesn't
Yeah.
go like the coastal line or so.
Whenever you get to a point where you have to go on a local train, it's usually, for me, it's usually a good sign.
Yeah,
It means less tourists. It means less. I don't want to use the word westernized like places, because I don't think Japan is westernized as such, but more authentic experiences, usually like hotels and restaurants and stuff like that.
yeah, totally.
Number
I
what
feel
we're
like-
on anyway.
And I feel like when people see you and don't see you as a tourist, but somebody they can make money on, or somebody that wants something from them, also just a person that's walking by, also, that's great. I think that's, at least I like that. Also, me not being a tourist likes it.
Yeah.
Okay. And John says very few gaijin in Kagoshima.
Oh, actually, we'll talk about Kagoshima later, because it's sort of linked
Spoiler.
to one of my locations. It's a spoiler. It's my top choice.
Wow, that's a big spoiler now.
Big spoiler, but I haven't said it. It could be anything, really. It could be anything.
Okay.
It's not Kagoshima though, so I'm going to keep you guessing.
Okay, speaking of your top choice, what is your next choice? What is your number 3?
Okay, my next one, I have it written here in my little post-it things, is actually I've completely skipped one, which was
Okay.
supposed to be number 2. I didn't mention Hokkaido at all, did I?
You didn't. Please go ahead.
So actually, Hokkaido as a tourist spot, especially in the summer, is amazing, because it's so much cooler than the rest of, than southern Japan, especially.
Mhm.
Usually like 5 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees cooler sometimes. And specifically the 2 places that I'm going to recommend in Hokkaido are BA, where my experience of BA is basically these incredibly beautiful fields,
Mhm.
farm fields with really, really nice farms. And you can rent a bicycle and just cycle through these incredible fields and stop in farms and drink fresh milk and have ice cream.
Nice.
I mean, that sounds perfect, right? Just have,
What else do you
like
want?
literally cycle. It's nice and cool. It's cooler, in the summer. It's ridiculously beautiful. These rolling fields of all sorts of produce. And I spoke to one of the farmers, and the farmer told me they have so much space, but they don't fertilize or use, they don't irrigate the same as the rest of Japan. So they just overplant, and then they just leave it to the elements, which means that if half of the crop dies, then it's okay because they've planted so much, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Does that make sense what I've said?
Yes.
So that was BA. So I recommend BA. And then the second place is Furano. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Furano before
I
in
have.
Hokkaido?
I have heard it, yes. But I can't place it.
Is famous for its lavender fields.
Oh.
So yeah, it's there's quite a few farms in Furano, and they basically just grow lavender and sell lavender products. So you can go to these farms, walk around these beautiful like lavender fields,
Mhm.
and then you can have lavender ice cream, lavender ramune, lavender cheese, lavender
Nice.
everything lavender. And it's just a sort of a unique, definitely I would say more like a day trip, but definitely a unique, different sort of trip, in Japan. So that was supposed to be my second spot, when completely missed out. Hokkaido, obviously, this Sapporo, etc. But I didn't really want to go too much into the big city style thing.
Yeah.
So BA and Furano. I don't know if anybody has heard of BA in the chat or have been there. I'd really like to know what people think of our opinions when it comes to traveling. Anybody
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
traveled to
yeah.
Japan before, really.
Yeah, and also if you have any recommendations, I mean, it's just our personal thing, what we experienced and liked. But if you have anything that you liked, please share it below on the side, in the comments, in the chat. Let us know. We need to know where we should go
Yeah,
next.
definitely. Yeah, especially if there's somewhere that we haven't been, no? So
Exactly.
so yeah, Hokkaido, definitely. In the summer, a lot of people go in the winter for skiing and for the ice sculptures.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
But I've never experienced that in the winter, so
neither have I. Yeah. Well, I would also. I've never been to Hokkaido, but I would love to go. And one reason is because people say it's a little bit like Germany. You know, like green,
uh,
bit more, a lot of green and like cattle and stuff. Maybe and dairy products and all that.
so maybe not so exciting for you then.
Yeah, yeah, but maybe it's. I feel like home or so. Who knows? A little cold, colder than here, maybe. I don't know. But still, I want to go. I also love snow, so maybe winter would be nice. Okay, Nathan, that's really interesting how they farm in those areas, says Daniel. Just overplant and hope it turns out. So I wonder if that's less sustainable than other methods. Yeah, obviously we have no
I
idea.
don't know. I mean, I guess that if they have to irrigate, they need to like install water and pump the water to the fields, and
Yeah,
this way
that's
they
true.
just to the elements. So I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I have no idea what it takes to farm something in an area where it's not like Hokkaido-like. So I can't really comment.
But it is, I have to say, it is the best milk I've ever had anywhere in the world.
Okay.
The Hokkaido milk from the farms, like I felt like a child
Nice. Yeah, here it's like
because
everything is
yeah.
Hokkaido. It's Hokkaido milk. I mean, maybe not milk. Milk is like Shinshu and so on, so Nagano. But the cheese is always Hokkaido mozzarella, Hokkaido this and that and so on. So
Yeah.
there
Well,
we
I
go.
understand. Having been there, I understand why.
Yeah. And Daniel said he went to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Just the usual. Okay.
It's a good starting point,
Yeah, I
really,
think
to
so
be
too.
honest. Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. I mean, we're not saying that those are bad places. They're really good starting points,
I think so.
definitely.
And it's also like they're also big, especially Tokyo and Osaka. They have so much variety. I mean, could be anywhere. And especially, of course, if you like really into Japan stuff that is not just countryside and onsen or so, then you can probably find it there.
Omoshiroi, Daniel says.
Yes. I don't know the context anymore.
No.
Okay. Next one, maybe.
Yeah.
My fourth point, that means the second to last, is Yamagata. So this time, not Yamagata city, but prefecture. And there I have three, but one of them, actually two, and one is in Akita prefecture, but I count it as one. It's kind of related. So the
Okay.
one, there is when you come from, how do you go to Yamagata with the Yamagata Shinkansen? Does it exist? I think. So you come probably from, you go to Sendai probably, and then you take the bus to direction Yamagata, and you exit at Yamadera. So Yamadera is so Yama means mountain and Dera means temple. Now you know what it is. It's a temple on a mountain, and
Mountain
it's super
Temple.
nice. So it has a couple of stairs, but it's not too bad. I think like 1,000. Now, depending on how well you can handle stairs, that may be a lot or not. But for me, it wasn't too hard, and it's a great view. So view is really fantastic, and the temple is also pretty nice. So lots of people there usually, but not to the extreme that you have to wait or so when you go up. And that was pretty. So I went there with a friend only once, but that was pretty nice, very picturesque, especially if you like making videos or pictures. So that's a great point. The other one would be Ginzan Onsen. Have you heard of that?
I think I've heard of it, yes.
Yes. And Ginzan Onsen is like if you think of Ghibli,
What prefecture are we talking about?
Yamagata.
Yamagata.
Yes. So Ginzan Onsen. If you think of like maybe what is it called? Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of this kind of onsen or so. Like super nice, especially in winter and when the light at night in winter when the lights are on. Super nice, beautiful town, really beautiful town. And just for that, it's on my recommendation. We went there. We got like the last room, which cost like $300 and was terrible. So
Oh
that's not a
no.
recommendation.
But it's still worth it. Wow.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
mean,
that says a lot, really. If the room was rubbish, then you
yes,
still recommend it.
yes, absolutely. I would have loved to stay in a great
Wow.
one. It was pretty expensive, pretty small, not particularly friendly. Yeah, so it's like,
You can send me the name of the hotel in private later
yes,
so that I
yes. I
can
mean,
keep away from it.
I think on Google it had like 3 stars or something. Already there, I was like, oh my God, is that okay? But it's so pricey, it must be good. No, that's not always true. So that's this one. But I mean, still, ideally you get a nice ryokan or something, a nice hotel, and then you explore the town. Maybe you'd stay 2 nights or so, then you don't have to rush.
Yeah.
And the last one is
Went there when it was winter or summer when you went there?
when we went there, it
Or spring or
was
autumn?
November. November, so I think it
Okay.
hadn't snowed yet or just a bit. But the day after, we went to Akita Prefecture to New Onsen. Have you heard of that? Maybe.
Yeah.
if you Google onsen, then often there's one picture of a outdoor onsen where it's snow surrounding it, and then it has like a milky color or so, kind of milky color. That's Nyoto Onsen. So there's Tsuru no Yu, which is this place, and that's I think super popular. And yeah, we went there and it just started snowing.
Oh wow!
Pretty nice. If
I
you
haven't
scroll on my
experienced
Instagram,
snow in Japan,
oh really? Ah, okay, yeah, when you come in summer. If you go on my
but
Instagram and just
I've come in winter before, but I
oh,
just never
okay,
been in a position where, yeah.
okay, yeah, now, yeah, now. I mean, thankfully now in Japan is rail passes. That means you can, for example, the JR pass is the most common one, most known one probably, that allows you to travel all of Japan for JR train lines like Shinkansen. And they're also for the east, is it the east north Tohoku area? So the upper part of Honshu, this big island here, where is Yamagata, where there is Akita and so on. And usually these tickets are only available for tourists, not for people living here. But now this JR pass is also available for me, finally. For foreigners,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
non-Japanese,
I read about
but
this.
they
Yeah,
can live in Japan. So I can finally explore this area more. And maybe I will go back.
that's
Now, for Tsuru no Yu, it is hard to get that. You have to book like half a year in advance. And we called and it's like, yeah, somebody canceled just now. You can get there like 2 weeks or so. Right. Super lucky. Super lucky. And it's they have different houses. Like they have a newer part and an older part. We stayed in the older part. And it's very basic actually. But they also have some rooms where they have like the open fire where they cook over. We didn't have one of those, but I would love to do that. Very nice. One thing to know about the big famous onsen bath is that it's mixed. So men and women together. For women, they can from the change room they go in. They're kind of not visible to the outside. Then get into the water until here, and then they can walk in. So kind of because the water is so milky, you don't see anything. But for men, it's like
yeah,
anything goes, just walk in. And then it's like we were there, and
yeah.
then there were some three Japanese obachans, so older ladies, and one was saying something, and then a younger one of them was always saying "urusai," so you kind of shut, you're annoying, loud, or shut up or something, and that like that, the meaning. And then in the end, when we went, they're like, "Oh, it's okay, you can stand up." We've seen that. Yeah, so that's my number two in combination. This area, Yamagata, Akita, on the mountain, onsen, and so on.
Okay. I have. Oh yeah, it's a shrine. Moto no Inori Shrine.
Okay.
It's a shrine. I wrote down where it is. It's in Uchi Prefecture.
Oh,
And once again, it's literally if you search for your Moto no Inori Shrine, I actually made a video. We speak about this actually in the video that we'll be releasing later. That I'll be releasing later. It's a shrine that I think once Japan reopens, it's going to end up being very, very, very popular with tourists.
mhm.
It's your typical torii gate, sort of like tunnel,
Nice.
but it's leading from the top, leading down to the sea, and then there's one shrine, one torii, like on a sort of cliff. It's very, very, very beautiful. It's kind of tricky to get to. You probably need to drive, and I went by train, but it's quite complicated to get to, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it for now. Although I've got a feeling that once it becomes like super like touristy, it's just going to be annoying.
Okay.
because I love Fushimi Inari Shrine. You know, I've been there a few times, but every time I go back, there's more tourists, and every time I go back, I like it less because
Mm.
there's more tourists.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a tourist there, you know.
Yeah. You're contributing to the problem.
Yeah, but this place, Motonoi Inari Shrine, when I read some reviews, literally, I read some guides and some reviews from 6 months before I went,
Uh-huh.
and they told me that there was only toilets there, nothing else.
Okay.
But when I went 6 months later, there was a souvenir shop. There was toilets. There was a taxi area. You know, it was you can. It's one of these places that you can just tell that give it 5 years and it's going to be a town.
Okay.
It's just going to be full of tourist shops and restaurants and stuff like that. It's just going to happen. So, but at the moment, there's hardly anything there. So that was my second last or second choice.
Okay. So the last one will be the recommendation. What may it be? Maybe it has something to do with Kagoshima, who knows? But let's see it. Take a look at the comments. Daniel says he would like to see Hokkaido and went to Japan in November 2019, right before COVID. Great timing. Lucky you. It sure seems like autumn is clearly the best time to go. Not for hot fall colors. Yeah, not too hot fall colors. I think any time is actually great, except for summer.
You see, I like the summer. I mean, I travel the most in the summer, but I find that I've been in winter,
Mhm.
in spring, and in summer. And yes, you're right. You know, spring the temperature is so much nicer than the
Yeah,
summer. But in non-pandemic times, there's all these matsuris and firework
that's
displays
true.
and a
That's
lot
true,
of
yeah.
things that are happening in the summer. I feel Japan just feels buzzing. It feels completely different. It feels more local, and probably for those people who like anime, summer's definitely the time to go because you get the anime feel. I don't know, like the
Mm.
Matsuri music in the distance, and I don't know.
Okay, that's a good point. Nice. Matsuri, yeah. I almost forgot that. It has been
Oh
so
yeah,
long now. Also, like, interestingly, so there are no festivals now, but also no firework festivals, which are common in summer. But here, three of the last 4 days, there was always somewhere boom, boom, because they had either there, there was firework, but no festival. So they just do it like without people and without announcement. Unfortunately, kind of sad. There is one in Nagano, I think on the 20th of November every year. What's the 20th? Or the 27th every year. And last year they also had it, but without announcement again. So maybe this year we can catch it. And I know also John from Only in Japan, he also wants to make a firework happen in Nagano this time. Side side story.
you can reach out to him.
I did. He liked my response. That's all. Niga, there's a lot of beautiful rice fields and a great fish market and fun monkey road signs that always make us think of Ninja Monkey.
That's funny that people see monkey signs and think of me. Do you know why I'm called Ninja Monkey though?
No, why?
Because um, Gibraltar, where I live, where I'm streaming from,
Yeah,
is the only place in Europe that has wild monkeys.
I see. And so does Japan.
And Ninja,
Mm.
yeah, and Ninja because of Japan, because the channel is Japan based. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I've worked in places where monkeys have broken in, and
Wow.
I have friends. The monkeys break into the house, and they have to close the windows, or else the monkeys will go in and steal stuff and open the fridges. They've learned, like
Okay.
they're quite naughty.
Monkeys.
So yeah, the monkeys here in Gibraltar, they're very famous. They're the only place in Europe that has wild monkeys. Like I could walk maybe 20 minutes and encounter a monkey.
What kind of monkeys?
They are tailless monkeys. They're Barbary apes. They originated in North Africa.
Mhm.
So they're sort of like North African
Okay,
monkeys.
not too
They've
far.
been here for a few hundred years. So
Okay.
side story, by the way, just because
Yeah,
the monkey science remind them of Ninja
yeah,
Monkey.
I
Um,
have seen Japanese macaques, but only in the zoo, not wild ones yet. Even though they are here, just go to the mountains probably
have you?
sooner or later.
Because I've been in Nagano. There's a famous snow monkeys,
Yeah,
right?
there's the snow monkey park.
So the
The
snow
bathing
monkeys are
monkeys.
actually very similar to they're very similar to the monkeys here in
Ah,
Gibraltar.
I see. Okay, no
They're
problem.
like very, very similar. Yeah, they look nearly the same.
Okay, they just
I think your monkeys have red faces, and my monkeys have brown faces.
okay.
That's the difference,
Yeah,
I think.
all right.
Same size, same
Oh,
same silliness.
thank you, Aminox. Just to keep the streak going. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Ooh, awesome.
Nice. Getting closer to that drone. By the way, speaking of drone, last weekend, I'm getting ahead of myself. No, I don't speak about it yet. It has to do with the #1 spot where I have been on the weekend.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's quickly
Okay,
continue
okay,
with
okay.
the comments. How are the rooms vented in those instances where they have cooking fires in the middle of the room? I have no idea. I have no idea. I think
That is true.
usually often in old houses, like when you go to Kyoto townhouses or so, in the kitchen it's way up to the ceiling. It's kitchen, so it may be that they just have something there, but I have actually no idea.
You know, that is a very interesting question, and
Yeah,
now one that I'm going to be thinking
kind of
about
important.
after the stream. I'll be googling in a bit now.
Then Daniel says tourists ruin everything. Source tourist. Tourist. Tasivadas was in Japan in November 2019 too. There you go. Me too. Though Japanese people seem to have a thing against true Kokujin tourists. Yeah,
Oh,
Chinese tourists. Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I mean,
I
maybe not
mean,
everybody, but yeah, some.
it's like everything, you know, like you can't generalize.
Yeah,
I've encountered Chinese tourists in Japan, which have been absolutely lovely,
yeah,
and I've also encountered Chinese tourists, especially in the onsen, where they don't seem to follow the onsen rules and dive and are really loud and stuff. Um,
yeah. But I don't know. I
but
mean, it's not. I don't think it's they are rude or intentionally rude or so. They just don't
no,
know.
it isn't intentional. That's it. It isn't intentional at all, and it's just
Yeah,
tourists can be rude in general, regardless of the country.
yeah,
Just depends what the tourist is like, I think.
yeah. Quoting Daniel Panic, tourists ruin everything. There we go. Hokkaido in winter is amazing, says Alminox, if you like snow. So Alminox lives in Hokkaido. That's why he says that,
Oh,
maybe.
really?
So he is like Mr.
Wow. Where?
most
What part of
experienced person.
Hokkaido? Do you know?
I think I asked before, but I always forget. If it was Sapporo or elsewhere, I forgot. Oh, Daniel, another 5. Nice. I'm American.
Wow, awesome.
I know what it's like to be judged as a tourist. Yeah, but really, people are generally nice to me. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of judging Americans, I was in 2014 in Tokyo in a small restaurant, not too far from Harajuku, maybe. Small beef restaurant, only foreigner. Everything quiet, silently eating my what was that lunch, and all of a sudden everybody in the room knew this person is American because she was so loud. And I was not sitting next to the door, so I was like kind of more in the corner. But she wanted to know if they have Kobe beef. It's like, have you seen the prices? It's like $10 a meal. No, they don't have Kobe beef. But it was, and I was a little bit like, don't connect me. I'm also white, I understand, but that was my feeling,
I
like a
feel the
little bit
same
of
as you. Yeah.
embarrassment, a little bit of embarrassment. But again, it's like many people, I feel like, also American colleagues, they tend to be a tad louder, especially if they haven't been in Japan too. Not a tad, quiet loud, a lot louder, usually.
But I think it also comes with the experience, how much experience a person have of traveling. Because
Yeah,
I
travel.
am from the Mediterranean, and I can tell you, my family, and here in Gibraltar, which is Mediterranean, is very, very loud. Like
I see.
restaurants are very, very loud, very
Okay.
chatty, and we sort of scream at one another. We don't talk, we scream. But
Which I love, by the way. But
then,
just here, it's so different.
yeah, but when I travel now, I've learned, maybe the first time that I went, maybe I was that loud, annoying tourist, perhaps.
Yeah,
But the more experience that I've had as a traveler, the more that I've learned that I just try to act like the locals around me. So when I go to a place, if everybody's quiet, then I'm quiet. If people are a little bit more chatty, the locals are a bit more chatty, then I feel that I can be a little bit more chatty.
yeah,
And that's basically my rule.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
else, I mean, I've never traveled with my family, but I would be very worried about traveling with my family to Japan. Yeah.
I'm sure they would love it. I don't know if the Japanese
I would
would.
be like, I don't know them. I don't know them.
Shh, be quiet. Yeah, probably that's like it's also like again experience, education, and so on, and understanding, and maybe some people
That's it.
just being
Experience
told a
and
couple of times,
knowing.
"Hey, can you be a little bit more quiet?" And then,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly. Like when I've traveled with my friends and they haven't understood.
yeah,
It's quite a difficult one actually for foreigners to understand that in a Japanese train, for example, in Tokyo, you're not supposed to make a noise. You're not supposed to really have a full-on conversation.
and super loud.
So yeah, and with my friends, like, don't talk, be quiet,
Yeah,
And they're like, but why? But why do I have to be quiet?
yeah, especially if you're in a group, right? Because then
Yeah,
you don't hear the contrast so much. Okay, so where were we? Uh, Hokkaido in winter is amazing. Yes. Daniel says he lives in Chicago. Snow is non-negotiable. He can handle it. Well then,
Oh, Chicago, cool.
yeah. And then Aryo Gono is confirming. John is doing a Hanabi in Nagano. Oh, okay. Daniel says if it's not being loud, it's wearing shorts, white socks, or running shoes that gets you identified as American. Oh, for Germans, we have shorts over the knee, and then we have tennis socks pulled up, white tennis socks, combined with the what do you call it, like Birkenstocks or something? Do you know that brand? Like
No.
sandals, essentially.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Like
And
sandals.
then
Yeah.
and probably maybe your t-shirt is also tucked into the into the pants. And
Okay.
perfect.
I mean, I have to say that, like, clothing, like wearing what to wear when traveling to Japan is quite a difficult one to answer because, especially in the summer where it's so,
Yeah,
like, what do you wear?
nothing.
Is it appropriate to wear? Is it appropriate to wear shorts? Is it not appropriate to wear shorts?
uh,
It just go, but I think, at the end of the day, if you're a tourist, you can look like a tourist because you're a tourist. You're forgiven because you're a tourist, right?
yeah. Oh wow, Daniel says he travels enough to get mistaken as an Canadian. Sorry about that. I can't do it well. I guess I'll be identified as a German forever. And then so Daniel recently sold his old apartment, moved to a new one that's more central in Chicago. Context here. So Aminox wants to know it's going.
Okay.
Every day, Daniel is happy to be there. Nice, that's excellent. The place is nice, it's close to cool stuff. It was a great change. All the sales are done. Sold my old place, slowly getting furniture, but it's slow to get. Nice. Elderly German tourists also tend to tighten belts over their bellies. Are they still touristing then? Do Germans do that? Maybe to Italy or somewhere and sit around the pool or so. Get drunk. That's my idea of that, or at least. All right, so now we have read the comments. Let me go to the final point on my list. The recommendation when you come to Japan is Nagano. Who would have thought that? Me living in Nagano?
No way. Seriously?
Having lived here for 2.5 years or so now in total. Yes, seriously. So previously we thought Nathan mentioned that the place that he wants to come back and visit again, and for me it was actually the place I wanted to live in again. Actually, so that much of, and in Nagano specifically, not Nagano city, but the area of Togari Onsen and Nozawa Onsen. So Togari Onsen is on the one side of a river and Nozawa Onsen on the other side, and that's where I've been recently, and that's where my most favorite hotel in Japan is. And that's also where on the weekend, I was on the weekend, and for the first time ever, I took drone shots for this channel. Not with my drone.
Wait a minute, you've got a drone?
No.
Where did you get?
Not with
with
my
somebody
drone.
else's drone. Okay,
But
okay.
a kind viewer lent me his drone, so he sent it to me. And that's why we will have drone shots in the next video. Ding.
Wow.
But only like 2 or so,
That's
because
fantastic.
then I was there with my family, and first my son was like, "Oh yeah, drone, nice." And then there was Akani was a crab walking on the street. And that was way more interesting. And I said, "Hey, let's go to the temple and take a couple more shots." And he's like, "No." That was the end of that. And with the family. I tried doing videos with family, and it's terrible for everybody, especially for me, because I feel bad I'm there with them and so on. So I stopped doing
I understand.
Yeah.
I've just actually, this last weekend, I don't know if you know where Granada is. Granada in Spain.
No, I don't know where it is.
Granada, it's got this place, this palace called the Alhambra, and it's supposed to be one of the wonders of the world, one of the modern wonders of the world.
Okay.
It's incredibly beautiful. For anybody who's traveling to southern Spain, it's very, very, very beautiful. It's definitely worth visiting. It's one of the most beautiful palaces I've seen, probably. If you just search for Alhambra,
okay.
Alhambra, Alhambra, Granada, and it's just pristine.
Wow.
It's just it's quite crazy. It's very beautiful. But I was there with some friends, and basically my idea was, this would be awesome to vlog, right? So I took all my gear, and I decided, really, I can't vlog when I'm with people, because I'm always feeling guilty, that I'm holding them back, or I can't put my camera in for the right shots,
Yeah, exactly.
So I just gave up. I just decided it's not worth it. Which is part of the reason why I travel on my own.
So that you can make
really?
your vlogs. Okay, let's do this one more time. Can you walk here again? Okay, pick this up now and eat. Okay, eat it again, faster.
Yeah. Smile. Don't smile.
Have a bit more fun now. Okay, Daniel, drone shots. Thanks a lot. We'll have some after.
So, is this video live already? Yours?
Which one? No. It's not. No.
Okay.
It will be maybe at some point. Okay, let me still elaborate a little bit about my point. So this is Togari Onsen, what I talked about now. And on the other side is Nozawa Onsen. That's a little bit more famous, maybe. Onsen town again. You can take like an onsen tour there, like onsen buildings, public onsen. One of them is for free, so you can get inside. There's a hot and a cold, not so hot bath. You can't get in the hot one, essentially. If you feel pain, then you can't get in the hot one. You're capable of that. Yeah, but still, pretty super nice town, and we were there. And they have one area which is designated only to locals, and there it's like 90 degrees, super hot, and they do like onsen
Wow.
tamago. Do you know that? So they take eggs, put it
The
into a
eggs, huh?
basket, and
Yeah.
then in there, and then it's super
Yeah.
like poached egg or something, super nice. And we
Yeah.
want
That's super nice. Yeah.
my son wanted to see that. We didn't find it, but we did find what did they call it? A moving corridor, not moving, like an escalator but flat up the mountain, like 500 meters or so.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, actually, Nagasaki has one of
Oh
those,
wow, yeah. So they had that,
which is
and
another
and
interesting
we and it's
thing,
like from the outside it's a little bit rusty or so, but lots of people coming up. And, I mean, lots, like 10 of a couple of minutes. We're like, okay, let's try, let's see, and it's like wow, it's way up there, and then it changes and again, and then there's like you are where the ski stuff starts. Moving walkways.
The ski lift,
Yeah,
huh?
ski lift. That's the start. That's the word. Moving walkways is what Daniel says with $2. Thanks a lot.
Wow, Daniel is a super
Yeah,
subscriber.
yeah. Now that the old house is paid. Just kidding. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. So yeah, the ski lifts start there, and there's like a summer skiing thing. So people actually doing ski in there, and also like an area for the kids and so on. And there was how do you do? What's it called? Like when you hang onto a rope and then you like going
Zip
down
line, a zip line.
zip line,
Yeah,
600 meter
zip
zip
line.
line
Wow,
for like
that's
a
quite a zip.
thousand yen or so. And my wife
Did you do it?
asked, no, my wife wanted to, and I'm like, okay, I take care of the kids too. But it was like 1 hour waiting, and she's like, no.
Yeah, that's a thing to balance out whether it's worth the queue.
Yeah, yeah. And they have the fire matsuri I talked about in our video. And that's
Yes.
every year in January they have a fire battle essentially. I've never been there, but I want to see it. And that's my number one. Nagano, specifically this area, Togari Onsen and Nozawa Onsen. Actually, the train station is called
Wow.
Togari Nozawa Onsen, so it's like right in the middle.
I have to say, I've been to Nagano, I want to say 3 times I've been to Nagano. Probably 3 times. And that says a lot. If I've been to a place 3 times, it says, it says something.
Yeah,
It's a good place.
nice.
So the Snow Monkeys was my least favorite part of Nagano
I've never been there
because
actually.
I have monkeys here.
Okay. Yeah, last year I was thinking about going there, like first snow when it's really nice and no tourists and so on. I thought like if I want to make a really nice video where it looks like nobody's there, then it should be now. I haven't done it.
Yeah. Yeah. You should do it. Obviously, now
Yeah.
is the time to do it.
Yeah, maybe now in December or so when it
Now,
snows.
no tourists, like at the
Yeah.
moment. So
First thing in the morning and then maybe.
would it take long to get there?
I think from stations like 1 hour or so. Ah, wait, no, it's by bus 1 hour and then 40 minutes walk, something like that.
Yeah, actually, I remember.
And then, of course, if you film, 2 hours walk.
Although the walk isn't that interesting. The walk is literally walking through a forest. It's
Yeah,
not that interesting. Apart from, if I remember right, halfway through the walk, there's a geyser.
Oh,
Like
yeah, super nice. Shots
there's a
talking about
geyser
it,
there.
drone shots, everything.
That is probably the most interesting part of the walk on the way up.
Okay,
Actually, I was more interested in that than the monkeys.
sounds pretty interesting.
No,
I
but
would try
that
to.
was back then. I didn't do YouTube back then, so obviously, now it would have been different.
I would try to put like an action cam super close, so that it looks like I'm getting hit by the geyser also. No.
Take an egg with you. You can do a tamago.
Yeah, or like on a tripod or monopod, like super far away, and then hold it into the geyser.
Geyser. Can't remember.
Mm.
But I have a 360 camera also,
Oh,
Insta
perfect.
360,
Hold
which
it
is
in.
quite interesting. That I bought it thinking I was going to use it loads, but
Mhm.
actually I don't use it much, to be honest.
Mhm.
But there are some very, very specific situations where it's worth having it.
Okay.
But I don't use it half as much as I wish I would have used it anyway.
Yeah, I don't have 360 cameras, and I have an action cam, which is the Osmo Action, which is
Yeah,
good
I
for the
have the
most
same one.
part. And but the
Yeah.
only thing I don't like is you cannot turn off the sharpening.
Ah,
And it's like when
true.
I compare it to this image from this camera and then have it then like,
Yeah,
can I somehow
yeah,
change that? No. Oh. And I have
yeah.
to
And
put it in
GoPro
post and
has just released the 10, which looks quite interesting.
yes. I heard from the 9 that it didn't work for some people. Like Tokyo Lens said, like I tried to do B-roll with the GoPro and 50% of the cases it didn't turn on or didn't record or something. That's something I'm very concerned about. But if that works well, then maybe a good choice.
Yeah, I just end up having more and more little cameras that I don't need. Like I have
Yeah,
the
that's
DJI
true.
Osmo Pocket, which is actually very, very useful. That would be my number one camera. The
Okay.
Osmo Pocket is very easy to just bring out, and it's stabilized, and you can
And you
take
can
it
turn
into
off
different places.
you can turn off the over sharpening in the pocket, not in the action.
Yeah, and you can,
Okay.
yeah. So that's
Why?
definitely one that I would use more.
Okay. Maybe I should have gotten that.
I think.
Well,
Well, you can once you get your drone.
yeah,
I'm sure by the time you get it, there'll be a new version of the Osmo Pocket 3 or
probably.
something, and you can start a new fund me thing. Have you thought of doing any live streams outdoors?
I tried once, it didn't work. And I did one live stream not from this room, but from this place that I just mentioned. So the next video will be about
Okay.
that place. I mean, the hotel there. And the connection was terrible and didn't work. Really, it was disconnected and then twice or so, and then that was it.
It's worth. I think it's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
It's what I'd like to do once I get traveling back to traveling around Japan.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to do a feature video for certain areas, and then for all the others, I'd just like to live stream if I can when I get back.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's check the
You
comments
can
again.
live stream with a DJI.
Yeah, also with the action. Also with the action.
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel confirms. Place is sold, student loans are gone, other stuff. I can actually spend money on Japanese journey support. Thank you. Okay, Alminox wants to know why Ninja Monkey. We did actually mention it, but
Oh, well, I'll repeat. I come from Gibraltar, and Gibraltar is the only place in Europe that has wild monkeys. And my channel is based mainly on Japan, so Ninja, the Japan side of things, and Monkey, the Gibraltar unique thing. But we have monkeys, and
actually,
yeah,
actually, in the next
that's
comment,
it.
Daniel already explained it.
Oh, okay.
As
To be honest, I think I start thinking that I should have come up with a better name, but now it's too late. I feel like I'm path too far down this path to change my name.
just change it to NJ. NJ,
And well,
your way to Japan or something. Okay, SK, welcome, says, I can't wait to come to Japan. Yeah, I can understand it. I can't wait to get out of Japan. Not really, but I can't wait.
I can't
I
wait
can't wait
to.
to go to Germany again and so on.
Yeah,
Ah, Gibraltar, one of the few remaining British colonies. Says Simon.
Not a colony.
Yeah.
Not a colony. British
Territory.
overseas territory. Territory.
For Britain, everything is overseas.
Yeah.
Because it's an
Because we have
island.
our own constitution. We have our own government and our own constitution. So therefore, we make our own rules. So therefore, we're not a
How
colony.
many people are there? Like 30,000 or so?
35,
Mm.
34,000, 35,000. It's the third most densely populated place in the
Wow,
world. I think we're on par with Hong Kong.
that's pretty dense.
It's ridiculously intense. Yeah.
Okay. How is it price-wise? Is it okay? Comparable to the rest of Europe? Cost of living
Um,
and so on?
I would say it's very comparable, very similar to London, I would say.
Okay, London is like super pricey. For like rent.
Property price is yeah, property price here is literally the same as London.
Terrible.
And actually, I would say that things are even more expensive here because a lot of the things we get imported from the
Mm.
UK, so they have to add a markup in import price. Same
Okay.
time, we're a tax-free place,
Okay.
so things like cameras I bought for pretty much tax-free and
Nice.
that sort of thing. So
Nice. Yeah. I've never been to Gibraltar, but I do like England or traveling to England. But the last time has been 2012. So maybe I don't
oh
like it
wow,
now, who knows?
okay,
But yeah, I had like
yeah,
good experience like traveling around and like old university clubs in Oxford and
yeah, yeah.
getting drunk. Essentially that's it.
Well, Gibraltar will be a very unique place to visit. Definitely. I mean, it's very. It feels like you're in the UK. Really, all the signs are in English, and we
Hmm.
pay in pounds, and
Yeah. Pounds.
so kind of an
You're also not in the
interesting
EU
place.
anymore now.
We are in a very weird situation. We're not part of the EU,
Hmm.
but we are not part of. We haven't. The UK has this like agreement with the EU, but Gibraltar is still working on an agreement with the EU via the UK, where we're going to
Oh,
be part of the Schengen part. We're going to be part of Schengen, but we're not
okay.
going to be part of the EU.
Okay.
But we're still part of Britain, so we're going to be in a very. I don't know what it's going to look like. Anyway,
Hmm.
we're still like working on it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I am working on getting an Irish passport so
Irish.
that I can EU. Yeah, my grandparents are Irish, so
Okay.
I am entitled to an Irish passport.
Nice, maybe,
So
hopefully.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Um, SK wants to buy a PlayStation from Akiba. I don't know if that's the best place, but I mean, do so if you think it's good. Just be careful. It may be in Japanese. I don't actually know if you can select your language on a PlayStation or not. I have no idea. Last PlayStation I had was PlayStation 2. Um, you also have one of the world's most hollowed out mountains, since you could build that giant runway in the ocean with the rocks, right? Says Almanox.
That's new information to me. I know that the rock of Gibraltar, it's a huge rock, and it's honeycombed, so it's literally full of pockets. No, like there's caves and that sort of thing. So tunnels and caves. It's very interesting. And inside there's lakes and stuff inside. It's quite quite
Okay.
creative. I didn't know we have a very unique. I don't know if you know this. We have a very unique runway
Hmm.
where we have our main road crosses the runway the same as a train crossing. The basically the barrier goes down and the planes take off, and then the barriers, and you can walk across also.
Oh,
So it's Also, the second or the third most dangerous runway in the world. Also,
Sounds great.
lots of yeah, it's quite an interesting landing experience, Gibraltar.
Okay.
The pilots have to like have special training
Okay.
to land. So yeah.
Well, so far it went well for you.
So far, I'm still alive. Yeah, no accident so far.
Which side do they drive on the road in Gibraltar? The right side or the wrong side?
The right side, obviously.
There you go. Take that
Yeah.
however you want. SK says, I just got my passport, so I don't have stamp or visit any country before it's okay to go to Japan as a tourist. I'm not sure. So what you're asking is probably if you have been to a certain country, if you can then still go to Japan, or if they have like a conflict or so. And I don't know if there's anything like that. Yeah, probably it's fine. Which place is better for
Well, at the
retire?
moment, you can't.
Yeah, at the moment you can't come to Japan, most likely, except if you are Japanese or resident of Japan. Which place is better for retirement, Japan or Gibraltar?
Well, firstly, I don't think you can retire to Japan because I've researched this. I thought to myself, oh, you know what? Maybe in the future I can retire in Japan. Japan does not allow
Yeah, there's
you,
not
like
no
foreigners,
no
to go
retirement
in.
visa also.
There is no retirement visa as far as I can see.
Yeah.
Whether that changes or not, I don't know. So obviously Gibraltar, because you could potentially retire in Gibraltar if you can afford to live here.
Yeah, so when you come to Japan, it must be pretty cheap for you.
Um, not really. I mean, I don't
I mean,
have a lot of
yeah,
money.
you don't
It's
rent anything, yeah. Hmm.
it's different. No, I guess it's like what I tell people. At the end of the day, Japan is as expensive and as cheap as you want it to be.
Yeah,
You can have a very expensive meal, or you can just have a bowl of ramen every day, and it can be cheap. Or you can stay in a cheap business hotel, or stay in a 5-star hotel, and
yeah,
it's just up to you.
that's a good way to put it.
And I always go cheap, by the way, or like intermediates.
Yeah, I like the you know, cheap for a week and then nice for a day or so.
Yeah, that's what I do, pretty much.
Nice.
Nice ryokans and onsens, and in the cities, I usually stay in a cheap hotel.
Yeah, now next one. If you could permanently move to Japan, would you?
That's a good question, and it's a question that's asked a lot. And I think that currently my answer would be no. I don't think I would move to Japan permanently because I have a very good situation. I have a job where I have a lot of time off, where I can, if I want to, travel to Japan. For example, in the summer, I have 7 weeks where I could go to Japan. Then in spring, I could go for 10 days. In winter, I can go for another 10 days if I wanted to. So I can experience. I like Japan as a tourist. I'm not very sure what it's like, and maybe Johannes can answer. What is it like living in Japan as a worker? Because my worry is that if I think he's answered it himself. No, like as a worker working in Japan, you might not have the time
Yeah.
to actually travel and see Japan. You're just living your life there.
Yeah, I think many Japanese don't take weeks of holiday. So usually it would be like a day here, a day there or so. That's one thing. And then if you, as a foreigner, non-Japanese, take a week of holiday, then usually you use that to visit your home country. Not usually, but at least in my case.
Yeah.
Another thing is, it depends what you do. So I'm like in IT, it's like a normal Japanese company or so. But for example, many English teachers that work here have like months of holiday. like or like way more than I would ever have. To say like, oh, you make much more money, but I'm like, yeah, okay, but you also
Yeah,
work hard. I also work twice as much
yeah.
just from the hours, for example, right? So there's that. So, but then it kind of comes to that issue. Okay, you have the time, but not the money, or the money, not the time. So yeah, I think it's not the same.
So that's why I said
Yeah,
my answer is that I like the fact that I can live here. It's quite a nice place to live in, and
yeah,
then I have the time to
yeah. I
actually
mean,
be a tourist and enjoy
of
Japan as
course,
a
if you
tourist.
move here, then you become full-time YouTuber and make traveling your work.
If I could, if my channel would grow to a point where I could like be a full-time YouTuber, then yes, I would be more than happy to live in Japan because I
Okay.
will be traveling around Japan. If
I remember
so,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I remember Gibraltar best as the place where 002000 John fell to his death on the giant rain moisture collectors in the living daylights.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 007, James Bond, The Living Daylights. James Bond parachutes off I think it was a Hercules or something, and it's the opening scene to the movie. Roger Moore, I think it was, or Sean Connery. I can't remember
Timothy
which one it
Dalton.
was.
Timothy Dalton.
Oh,
Just Google.
even further back,
One
further
of
back.
those
Yeah.
two.
So yeah, actually, that whole
I think
opening sequence is quite a cool
I think
opening
it's one
sequence,
of
to
the
be
few I
honest.
haven't seen. One of the
Yeah.
two or three. All right. If you had enough money to retire, presumably you can get a visa by opening a business and have someone run it. You have to invest like
That's
5
right.
million yen. Presumably, yeah.
I mean, there are ways to do that. I mean, I'm not necessarily thinking about retiring at this point, to be honest. But it is something that every now and then you think, like, oh, like when I do retire, potentially I could, spend a few months in Japan and, like spend 2 or 3 months there and then come back and, you know,
Yeah, because I have house
maybe,
also.
maybe, yeah, that sort of thing. So, but you never know where you're going to be in the next 20 years, really. So
Yeah.
Japan might still be closed.
Yeah. Who knows? Or something else is coming. Okay, the big one. What is the update for student visa?
Check
I
out
have
my
no.
latest video when it's coming out.
Yeah, it will be out probably tomorrow
Unfortunately,
or
I
someday.
mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna try and get it done after this live stream. To be honest, but if not tomorrow, it will be out before the end of the weekend. I like to do it during the weekend, but I will answer briefly that question. No, of the student visa, is that currently, as far as I can see, there's no big changes. But like I tell everyone, just keep an eye on my channel because all of the news will give you signals as to whether or not things are moving in the right direction. So
Yeah.
I don't want to make decisions for people. I don't want to tell people when Japan is going to open. I want to give the right information to people so that they can make like an informed decision and make a good guess. So that's I don't want to be the person that says yes, it's going to open in October and then it doesn't open and everybody like crucifies me on the comments. So
But you said.
but I will give my opinions on things, but I will never, unless I'm 100% sure for certainty. By the way, I haven't given my number one place.
I know. I tried to catch up with the comments before we're doing that, but let's just do
Okay,
it.
carry on.
Okay. Let's do one more comment, then we do the number one.
Right, okay.
What? Okay. Daniel says it's mostly a matter of 50K investment and a solid business plan to get the visa. If you have a retirement account, you would probably have a lot more money by that time. Yeah, of course. All right. And now, Nathan's number one.
Wow, there's quite a lot of comments, by the way, that you still need to get through.
Yeah, yeah. After that.
My number one is actually my number one. We talked before about Kagoshima, and my number one place is in the prefecture of Kagoshima, but it's not on the main island of Kagoshima. It's a place called Yakushima. It's a sort of like a tropical, I guess, a rainforest island. Probably a 3-hour ferry ride from Kagoshima. You reach this island. When I went there, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago now. It's beautiful. It's got amazing waterfalls. It's got amazing, incredible moss forest. There's when I went, the turtles were laying their eggs and they were hatching. So I got to experience on the beach basically the little turtles coming out and a giant, ridiculously big turtle laying its eggs. It's just an incredibly beautiful place. And it's a place that people never know. When I say Yakushima, people don't know, or the Japanese people go like, "Oh my God, you've been to Yakushima. I want to go to Yakushima." You know.
Yes.
Do you know Yakushima?
I do, actually. I mean, let me
Have you been to Yakushima?
quickly Google
No.
it no, I haven't. To confirm that it's the one. Yes, I know it, and I want to go. It looks like it's just perfect for video, and also from the sound of it.
It is.
It is protected, right?
It is incredible. It is. It is.
So no drones.
It is one of these places where I'm not very sure if you cannot, but it is definitely one of these places where I went for, I think it was 2 nights, maybe 3 nights, and as I was leaving, I thought to myself, you know what, I could do another 3 nights here, because I felt that I was rushing everything, because I wanted to see so much. Everything that I saw was so incredible that I just wanted to go to the next place, and then I would get to the next place and it would be so incredible, to the point that on the very, very last day, the ferry was leaving, I think, like at 3 p.m. something. Still hadn't been to the forest, the famous forest. It's the forest that inspired Princess Mononoke, the anime, the moss forest, and I hadn't been there. So I ended up deciding last minute to get a taxi to take me up the mountain to get to the forest, and then the taxi basically waited for me for like an hour and a half whilst I just went around the like a little bit of the path. But in a way, it was the worst thing that I did, because I came back thinking, I really, really want to go into the rainforest, and I really, really want to go camping. Well, it's not rainforest, you know, the forest. And they do these camping trips where you basically go night camping in the forest. And it's just, I can just go on forever. It's just one of those places that is so unique, so different, so interesting. I think it's the only place in the world where the deer and the monkeys have a relationship where they've learned to use each other. So the monkeys will ride on top of the deers.
Okay.
Yeah. And the deers, the deers have better hearing. So the deers will alert the monkeys as to when there's danger, and the monkeys will climb the trees and throw down for the deers.
Okay.
So they have this sort of relationship where the deer are listening out for danger, and the monkeys are helping feed the deer, and they ride the deer, obviously, because they're monkeys. So
maybe that should be on your channel logo, like you on deer.
Yeah. But it's just a crazy, crazy place, and there's an island off Yakushima, a tiny little island, which is a volcano, and the volcano is like all the time smoking, pretty much all the time. So it feels like you're in some kind of crazy movie.
Okay. Yeah,
So
pretty
yeah,
nice.
I
I want to
will
go.
be back.
Sounds
I will
great.
be back to Yakushima, but
Oh,
definitely off the beaten path.
yeah.
Swimming in Yakushima is amazing. The rivers are really clean to the point that you can just like with your water bottle, you can just fill up your water bottle and drink straight from the streams. Um,
Nice.
very, very cold water though.
Temperature-wise?
Yeah, and there's lots of like shop. When I went was probably the end of July,
Mhm.
mid of July, end of July, I would say, and the temperature was probably quite warm, but quite hot. But there's so many rivers that you can like swim in that it's fine. That's what people do. They just swim in rivers and stuff. You can hire some motorcycles also.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's just you can just go there and just get lost, especially if you're an outdoors sort of person. I wouldn't say that it's like a big town at all. It's there weren't that many hotels either, so definitely off the beaten path and definitely somewhere that a lot of tourists do not go to.
Okay.
And even when I went, I know that now some of the bigger YouTubers like abroad in Japan and the Anime Man and stuff like that, they've done it since,
Mhm.
after I visited.
Yeah,
So I'm a bit disappointed that
me
the
too.
secret's out.
But I think it wasn't. Probably they could have done more. I think it was just one part of Journey Across Japan of one video. So
Yeah, yeah, it was. I mean, I saw that episode and I thought to myself, what a what a
they go like to
disappointing
see
segment.
go to see a tree or something, right? Kind of like on
Yeah,
that level. So if it's
yeah. I mean, there's so much more, and I guess it's also quite seasonal in the sense that, like, when I went, um, like it was the season for the turtles,
hmm,
which was incredible, like a really incredible experience, to be honest. And like in the middle of the night, uh, and the beaches there also, they're very very beautiful beaches, but you can't swim in the beaches because of the current, the current.
ah,
It's quite dangerous apparently. So that's why everybody swims
okay.
in the rivers. And there's lots that I didn't get to see. So
Yeah, I mean maybe it was a similar problem for them if they because I think they have been to Kagoshima, right? And if they're really like on the daily schedule and it's 3 hours from there,
they flew, didn't they do the flying?
I don't know. But in any case, they probably didn't have lots of,
No.
just like you, like if 3 days is not enough, then certainly
Yeah,
one
yeah.
day isn't
No.
either.
I mean, I will definitely be wanting to go back to Yakushima. It's it's just a really special place. It just blew me away. I think that when I went, I knew what it was, but I wasn't fully aware of what it was, if that makes any sense. So it was a real surprise.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so the people were friendly also,
Yeah.
but very, very scarce. Not many people, like very, very few people on the island. I don't know what the population is of Yakushima, but it's like there were not many people.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I see.
So
Maybe one day I will go there. I should.
yeah,
Maybe when it's a late.
actually, I made a video. I did make a Yakushima video, by the way.
Okay.
Um, that was in my early YouTube years,
Okay.
so please do not judge.
Still, I may watch it. All right, back to the previous topics, if you're okay. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. So Sifra Beast. Ah, by the way, so that's the number one. Now you know. So Kagoshima,
Yeah, that
and
was my
then
number one.
to Yakushima and Nagano. Togarinozawa Onsen. So the next question from Sifra Beast: when spouse dependent visa start? Same answer. You need to go to Daniel's, to Daniel. Now I'm mixing it over to to Nathan's thanks. Next video and check that.
I mean,
Then you will
yeah.
see more about opening Japan.
But you need to know that I am on everybody's side. You know, I want people to go into Japan, which is why I do my videos. But unfortunately, I can't. I only tell the truth. I'm not gonna lie on my channel. I'm gonna tell the
making
truth.
hope or something.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be optimistic and I try to be positive.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I think I don't want people to lose hope. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend that something's gonna happen if it's not gonna happen. That's not what I'm like.
Yeah.
So
there you go. If you have a minimum of 30 million yen, that's like $300,000, on a savings account, you can apply for a special activities visa and retire in Japan. I didn't know that.
Special activities. Let me write it down for the future.
Let me Google it. Special activities. Good. How to... I make a new video. We have a new short for the channel. How to retire in Japan. Step 1, get $300,000. Step 2, retire in Japan. The lesson here, be wealthy, yeah. When Johannes becomes a YouTube millionaire, he will remember his top contributors. Okay. It must be fun when Japanese people are jealous or surprised of your visit to these places in Japan. That's about it.
Well,
Yakushima.
me or you or both of
No,
us?
Yakushima. Because you mentioned when you said it to Japanese people, they like, what, you went? I also want to go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Japanese people are usually quite surprised because it's not the easiest place to get to, and normally people go to Okinawa, to the Okinawan Islands.
Yeah.
That's usually, which is like if you carry on off Yakushima, you'll end up in Okinawa. So usually people are quite surprised that I've gone to Yakushima, and especially like I don't know why, but usually it's the older Japanese people. I don't know why, but the older Japanese people are usually quite like, wow, you've been to Yakushima. Like I've always wanted to go to Yakushima.
Okay, interesting. Maybe they know it more. Maybe it was more popular. I don't know. Okay, then we have Found in Japan here. Good evening. Welcome to this stream. Sounds really nice.
Hey, I've heard of Found in Japan before, I think.
Really? Research.
Yeah.
I searched Found in Japan and the first result is when she found another girl on your bed. And then anime girls get jealous. Maybe you have to filter by channels. Oh, it's also the wrong... Yeah, anyway, I'll do that later. Yeah, welcome. Okay, and with that, we are caught up with all the comments. And I think we have been talking about a lot. It's 2 hours, 18 minutes so far. So I think that's a perfect time to slowly come to an end. So ladies and gentlemen, if you still have anything to say, we do maybe 5 more minutes or so, can answer 1 or 2 questions if you have any. And if not,
and I'm very happy we sorted out the main technical difficulty, which was of me really having smaller big all the time.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, if this would have carried on, oh god, I don't think I could have made it until now. But also the connection became really stable, thankfully.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah. And those of you who are still here, please remember to subscribe to Nathan's channel if you like what he does. So as he said, currently a lot of focus on the situation with the coronavirus and when Japan opens again. But also we have a video coming up about city versus countryside in Japan, and he has a lot of travel content, especially in the future.
hopefully in the future.
I'm certain. I'm almost certain.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be for quite a few months though. That I because of work now. Unfortunately, I've lost my window, and I won't be able to go properly for quite a few
Okay,
months.
that's why you booked for next July, was it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
July. Yeah, I booked for July. I'm hoping that in July, things will happen.
Yeah. Oh, Ario Gono is a
So,
subscriber to both channels for a while now. And he
whoa,
was surprised to see
awesome.
Nathan with Tomoko-san.
Yeah, Tomoko. She's such a. Do you know Tomoko?
I don't know. I mean, I know her channel and so on,
Oh,
but I not personally.
you know her channel. Yeah, yeah. She's a really, really, really fun person to know as a, I haven't met her personally,
Okay,
but the same as you, like when we've done our Skype chats or prepared our videos, she is a very nice, fun person.
nice.
So I'm glad that I've managed to like become social media friends with her.
Nice,
Hopefully,
nice.
somebody that I can also travel to and visit when I'm there.
Hopefully. Then Jasiwadas will leave. Okay, enjoy your pizza. Japan not found. Found in Japan, not Japan not found. Loves the updates. And then there's one question: what was the most unexpected experience you've had on your trips to Japan, Nathan?
Actually, the next video I speak about it. Basically, it's joining a random matsuri where I carry the shrine with some local fishermen. That's by far the most random like experience I've had.
I actually thought about taking one of those screenshots and put it into the thumbnail.
Uh,
Like getting
have you seen that video at all?
no, but I have seen our video.
Yeah, yeah, our video. Yeah, actually, that one, because I still have contact with fishermen,
Oh,
and they always said to me if I ever wanted to go back to do it, that I could.
nice.
So maybe we can figure out when it is, and you can come and we can do it together.
Yeah, get drunk together with the fisherman. Sounds like a plan. Since you,
Although they did warn me, they told me that it was a 3-day thing. Yeah, they said you've only done one, like a few hours, but it's a 3-day thing.
wow, that would be awesome to see, says Found in Japan. Since you enjoy going to Japan so often, wouldn't you save a ton of cash on plane tickets by just moving there? Says Jason. That's one way to look at it, I guess.
I guess so. It just depends on how expensive the plane tickets are.
Yeah. Okay, and Daniel says he just subscribed to you and is hoping for an in-person collaboration next year. That would be great.
Yay, that would be awesome. I can bring my drone. By then you'll have your drone, and then we can do like drone wars,
Yes.
racing our drones.
At Yakushima.
Yakushima.
Yeah. And then getting like caught and deported.
Well, yeah.
Okay, with that
No, maybe
positive
not.
message, I think we can call it an end. 2 hours 23,
Yeah.
pretty long. So, thank you
Thank
so
you very
much
much for
being.
having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. It was really nice. Not having to talk all the time by myself, but having somebody that actually it's not just chatting, but with a voice. Yeah, and thank you all for watching. The next live stream
Yeah.
presumably will be on next Saturday, 9 p.m. Japanese time. Hope you enjoy it. Again, please remember to support Nathan. The channel is linked at the very top at the pinned message.
Thanks.
And there will be a video
I'm
out
actually about to make the video live.
Yes, there will be a video out in a couple of minutes on his channel, so I will be in there if you like me. then good. And if you like him, even better. So it's a perfect combination. So I hope you enjoyed that one as well. So it has been a nice evening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. And then see